I would like to acknowledge the millions of African people who are subjugated, violated, murdered, lynched, and systematically dehumanized because of the transatlantic slave trade. I would like to acknowledge the approximately 12.5 million African people who were kidnapped, taken, stripped from their homeland, separated from their languages, foods, traditions, and families. African people brought to the New World. I would like to acknowledge the Ma'afa, the great tragedy perpetrated by Portugal, Spain, Britain, France, the Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, and the United States of America. I would like to acknowledge the approximately 2 million African people who chose the afterlife rather than be brought to a world that promised them bondage against their will. I would like to acknowledge the economies, industries, and cultures that have been built on the backs of African people. I would like to acknowledge the wealth and resources extracted from African people. I would like to acknowledge the truth, the real, raw, violent truth that includes this history. I would also like to acknowledge the humanity, brilliance, and power of African people. Black-bodied people around the world have always understood freedom as their birthright. We have created, survived, and thrived in spite of this history and these legacies. Even as I acknowledge the intergenerational pain Black bodies have endured, I would also like to acknowledge their spirit, wisdom, and joy. Our ancestors made a way out of no way. They are the reason we stand here today. I would like to acknowledge their freedom dreams, propelled by freedom movements that live as resistance, as fists in the air, as chants reverberating justice. Ashe. I am the daughter of African people brought to Jamaica from Nigeria, Ghana, the Ivory Coast, Benin, Togo, Cameroon, the Congo, and Mali. I am the daughter of African and European people, the enslaved and the enslavers, the colonized and the colonizers. I acknowledge now the many unknown stories of my origins. I commit to learning more about the people who came before me and their relationships. As I speak this hard truth, I confront the possibility that some of my origin stories may begin with violence and trauma. Stories written time and again on the leaves of family trees that look like mine. I am the fruit they call mulatto. My roots planted by bakramasa. My flesh ripe with palm sugar and honey. They call me Oshun. I stand in the known and unknown of it all. I would like to acknowledge all my ancestors now, those who dwell on the ancestral plane with the names I know and the images I have. My paternal ancestors are James Robertson, Cyril Robertson, Edward Harrison, Mary Elizabeth Harrison, Dorothy Eliza Harrison, Paul Douglas Robertson, Cyril Norman Robertson, Edwin Robertson. My maternal ancestors are William Smith, Ambrosine Elvira Lang, Aubrey Eastwood, Ida Euphemia Clark, Vincent Smith, Pearl Eastwood Smith, Lorna Smith. When the world appears to be in chaos, when the rage begins to build, I go to my ancestors. When the injustices become too heavy to carry alone, I say their names. I turn to my ancestors. I find my ancestors at the water. I belong to the water. My brown butter skin is alive with salty tears I name ancestral memory. walking at the intersections of existence where oceans meet shore. The spirit of all there is flows through me. I feel most free at the water's edge. I find my voice on the waves. My soul floats on the tides. My spirit dances on the sands. As the grains of sand tickle my toes, the sand reminds me that I also belong to the earth. The water, the sand reminds me of the ships, the waves, the land. I turn to my ancestors because they know my journey well. Wherever I am, I belong. Wherever there is ground beneath my feet, I am. Wherever I am, my people are with me. I belong to a people who were people long before their encounters with you. I belong to a people who began with time. I belong to a people who dream. The roads we travel may appear tattered. There may be broken glass on our paths. Everything on the journey may seem to be coming apart, but it is all folding together perfectly because we are. When I close my eyes, touch the water, I am free. When I close my eyes, touch the earth, they are free. We are free because we are. We are free because freedom is our birthright. We are free because we resist. And it is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Ashe.